Hey YouTube friends, this is Charlie Porter. It's been a while, but I'm back. I'm in our nation's capital, Washington DC, and that's the White House behind me. I'm just here chilling on the lawn here in the park, and figured I'd do a quick little tutorial video and just show you guys something that I do, a little trick that I got from his name is Vince DiMartino. He's a great trumpet player. He did a master class that I saw maybe 10 years back, and I remember this thing that he talked about called the peel off. Now this thing called the peel off is actually really useful when you're playing. It can help you to check, at least this is what I get out of it, it helps you to check and make sure that you're using good form when you're playing. Because a lot of times when people play, they just use this thing to just kind of hold their lips together. And this kind of becomes a crutch, training wheels, if you will. So if I put this thing on here, sure, I can make a sound, right? But as soon as I pull that mouthpiece off, if that happens, then you're probably not really using your form. What he does is something interesting. So when he's playing the trumpet, he actually plays a note, and he peels the mouthpiece off. And you don't have to peel it off all the way. You can just peel it off a little bit until you break the seal. And as you break the seal, your lips have to then start to firm up a little bit against the teeth and start to acquire the same pitch that you're actually playing. Now, normally, if you were to peel it off and you're actually using good form, you wouldn't get exactly the same pitch, because if we're playing on a trumpet, then you have all this resistance, plus you have the limitations of the mouthpiece, which is limiting the vibration to a smaller circumference. So that's actually going to make the pitch go up. So if I was to say buzz a low B flat, that would actually yield me about a G on the trumpet. So if I went, now you see, there's that difference, but it makes the exercise even more difficult if you actually try to buzz the same pitch that you're playing. So as you take the mouthpiece off, you're going to have to increase the strength just a little bit to acquire the same pitch. So that should look something like this. And likewise, as I put the lips onto the mouthpiece, I'm actually relaxing slightly as I go onto it. But the idea here is that when I'm playing, that I'm actually using the muscles here to bring the lips into the teeth to actually create the vibration. Otherwise, guess what we do to do that? We press. And if pressing is the only thing, now we need pressure to create a seal, but if pressing is the only thing that is creating firmer and firmer tension against the lips, then guess what? You're gonna reach a ceiling pretty soon, and it's gonna be painful to play the trumpet in the upper register. And also when you play really loud, plus you won't have a good soft register and your flexibility is gonna be shot. Not to mention endurance issues. So this little exercise, what it can do is tell you right away, am I playing with form, or am I just playing with this thing locked onto my face? For example, if I was just to play a couple notes, I'm not gonna play with form at this point. I'm just gonna keep the mouthpiece on my chops, but I'm just gonna let that setting do the work, and then I'm gonna blow, and then I'll press more or press less. Now here's the thing, in the middle register, you can get away with this. But as soon as you start going into the higher register, you don't really get away with it for very long. So you'll see a lot of trumpet players, and they'll play kind of relaxed there. Let me show you if I actually use form now. Now you might not even notice a difference between those two, but in fact, one of them is going to allow me to ascend into the upper register with good form, kind of like having your knees bent and wanting to walk up the stairs, right? But if your knees are locked, you aren't going up those stairs. And if you're playing where you're just using pressure and you're not actually using the form right here, and if you want to know more about that form, check out my 4-step approach to setting up the embouchure. But if you're playing and you're not using that form and you're just locking down, then you're missing out on that bent knee analogy that I was talking about. you're missing out on your ability to be able to walk up and down those stairs, right? So again, you can use this little peel-off exercise as a standalone exercise, or you can actually check yourself in the middle of pieces as you're playing. Let's say I'm playing right? And I can check it there. Now, you might have heard some really even notable players talking about the dangers of lip buzzing and that lip buzzing isn't necessary and all this stuff, or that it can be bad for you. And listen, I think there's lots of opinions out there, but honestly, if you do the lip buzzing and you don't do it too much, and you use it for checking form, and you do it with good form, meaning you're supporting and you're not buzzing like this, see, that's only going to make you get tight, right? Then it can actually be really beneficial for you playing, because it makes you have to have a good balance between these muscles and the muscles right here, right? If there's a good balance, you're going to have an open airway, you're going to have a good vibration. If there's not a good balance, you're going to have fighting in the sound. And doing something like that is not going to be any good for your trumpet playing. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. That was just a little quick tutorial. I hope it helps you out. If it does, please subscribe and leave some comments below. Buzzing, by the way, is not for everybody. Some people don't buzz, but I do believe that if you're a good trumpet player, you have the ability to buzz. And if buzzing is something that is not working for you, then chances are it is something that will help your playing if you actually start to practice it. But again, when you're doing this, try to get a good sound. Try not to mash the lips together, but instead think about pulling the lips back towards the teeth like this, instead of, because there's two ways you can firm up lips. You can go like that or like this. And when I do that, I'm supporting with these muscles. All right, that's enough. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna try to post some more videos very soon. Thanks a lot.